Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of She Does the Podcast. I'm Gina Joyce.
Laura Moose.
And today we have the wonderful Britt Malec with us. Welcome, Britt.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
I'm really excited.
So for those who don't know you, do you want to share a little bit about you and all of your awesome endeavors and how it all came to be and how you found yourself here?
Yeah, I'll do my best. I do a few different things, and I sometimes have a hard time telling a concise narrative about what those things are and
That's
how
okay.
they all fit together. But so I'm going to try. I'm an artist. I'm a community song leader. I'm a birth doula, and probably some other things too. A mom.
Yeah. So tell us a bit about your art and the singing and the birth doula and kind of how you see. I mean, I think they intertwine quite a bit, or actually how they intersect.
Yeah, they overlap in ways that is surprising to me sometimes and really delightful. Sometimes it feels like I'm balancing all of the things and it's a little precarious, but then on a good day, it feels like these things sort of dovetail together really elegantly. As far as my birth work goes, we live in a really small town. There is not a huge amount of births that happen every year because it's such a small population, but we're also a really remote population. So when people do want birth and labor support, it can be sort of harder to access. Most people are driving many hours down to Duluth to get their care. So being able to be someone that is there for people to kind of like fill in those gaps when we have just the burden of distance when it comes to rural healthcare. I was doing birth work when I lived down in Minneapolis and then had kids of my own and moved up here and thought I was going to be a farmer. Just was going down a different path and didn't necessarily think that it was something that I would get back into. And then I moved up here and had someone reach out to me from the WIC program about doing peer breastfeeding counseling through that program. And I thought, sure, why not? It's part-time. I can do that. And then, like all of the public health jobs up here, everyone wears a lot of different hats. And before you know it, they're like, well, we really could use someone to do this or do this. And there's this grant opportunity to get people trained as birth doulas. And so I wasn't necessarily planning on returning to that work, but since moving up here with the just particular situation, and also then my own experience, like when I moved up here, I was 5 months pregnant and navigating like what it was like to give birth in the metro versus like being up here. Just put into perspective the logistics of it.
Because we didn't have the birth center here anymore at that point, right?
That's
Right.
for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I believe the hospital stopped being able to do births in 2015.
Okay.
And so, yeah, the way that everyone has navigated that looks really different. And there's like a bunch of logistic challenges. So I kind of had my own experience to draw from and then previous experience from doing that work before. And I wasn't sure if I was going to like be a part of that project in a more just like administrative way, like help organize the cohort of people who are going to get trained as birth doulas and then be kind of like behind the scenes helping with like the grant writing or that kind of thing, or if I was going to be one of the people who also did the training and stepped into that work. And then it was like kind of during that time, it was like a few days where I'm like, I'm thinking about it. And I'm going to make that decision, that I went over to a friend's house actually to hang out with her older daughter while she was in labor, and didn't anticipate that I would necessarily be there while baby came very quickly.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
But that's what happened. And so it was sort of this moment for me of being like, okay, you know, maybe birth work is choosing me, and I should just go for it and also be a part of that project. And that was almost 4 years ago now. And yeah, I'm the way that the work has been unfolding. It's been like a really slow process, and I work alongside a few other folks in the community who are birth doulas and midwives and body workers, and that sometimes looks like being direct labor support for people when they're having their babies, and then sometimes it looks more like community engagement work where we're like putting on events. We've been doing these birth storytelling nights, or we have different like parent topic educational those kinds of events, and then more recently have been doing these perinatal song circles. So people who are pregnant or postpartum, it's a singing group specifically for folks who are in that sort of phase in their life. So that's one way that
that's a really cool intersection.
Birth work kind of has intersected with this other passion of mine. So segue to community singing, which is a thing that I could talk about for many, many, many hours. It's something that I came to kind of by accident. It was a thing that I experienced just from being part of communities that had singing as part of like what they did. I lived and worked at this boat building shop in Maine for 9 months. I was doing this apprenticeship there.
Oh, cool.
And part of that program was like, you know, there's this element of like communal living. So we're sharing meals and working together. And before every meal, we would sing a song. And I was like, oh my God, I do not want to do this. Like, what did I sign up for? And then by the end of my time there, it was like actually something that I really enjoyed, and just was not a part of my daily life. But I was like, how can singing become more part of my daily life? And then when I moved up here, I met a friend who was like very much ingratiated in this kind of community singing subculture. And he helped me put words and context to like what these kinds of songs are and what this type of singing is. So for folks who don't know, it's songs that are short, easy to learn. You're not reading sheet music. It's just you're learning it all through oral tradition, call and response. And some of the songs are like really old songs that people have passed down and just sang forever, like traditional rounds, or but then there's also like all of these new songs being written all the time specifically for folks to sing in this way, where you're just in a circle of people, learning the songs as you go. So it's really accessible. You don't have to be a musician or consider yourself a singer to participate. It's really just singing for the joy of singing, which is not an opportunity that people really get enough of in their lives. So,
and your song circle in the summer in particular can be gorgeous. Like there's video of you doing it out by the harbor in Grand Marais and just at sunset, and it's stunning. And what a moving experience to have together.
Yeah, I mean, there's just no shortage of beautiful outdoor places to do anything here in Grand Marais. It's super lovely. And that was one of those things where like it was an idea that entered my mind and was already like a fully formed idea of just like I could just see all of us standing outside of by the lighthouse down on that break wall singing, and was like, oh yeah, I have to do that.
Yeah.
So it's been a couple of years now of like meeting there when the weather is nice and having song circles out there.
And do you get a lot of like tourists or visitors that will kind of see you guys and jump in, or?
Well, it's funny. We do sometimes have folks who either like stand and watch and are like, what is happening? Or people who do join in, or we've had people like on boats going by, like slow down and then like sing with us.
Oh, fun.
So that's been really sweet. But it's also that little walk along the harbor in the summer. I mean, it's like really busy and really popular, and it's a place where a lot of visitors like to go. But from a lot of the folks who participate in the song circles, I've heard that it has been like a nice way to kind of reconnect with that spot and feel like you still belong there even in the like busy tourist season.
That's a good perspective. Yeah.
So it's been both.
I remember seeing you there the first time, and then people were, because I'm at the point pretty much, every week taking photos and, seeing you and the other ladies going there and asking you, what are you guys up to? And then you're sharing with me what you were doing. So I was like, oh, I'm jealous. I actually want to go there and like be with them and hang out. What do you think are like the like effects of doing this? Like, what do you think people take with them after being part of the song circle?
Yeah.
Or what do you think, what do you expect people take with them?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely have my hopes, and I can speak to what it has meant for me to be a part of singing in this way. I think singing can help us metabolize and move through emotions in a different way. That's not just like all up here. It's like in our bodies.
Yeah.
So when it comes to just acknowledging and holding either like immense joy or anger or grief, that song can really help us work through some of those feelings. And then doing it with other people, I think it fosters a sense of belonging. I think we come together, and not everybody in the circle always like has known each other, but it is a really quick way to feel connected to and close to people that without needing to like cut through a bunch of small talk. So it's just a different way of connecting and a different way of belonging to just a group of humans. And then also just like connecting to and belonging to place. Like so many of the songs that we sing are about beautiful things in nature, or like seasonal things where you're like acknowledging and being present with either your surroundings or like the energy of the moment or your feelings. Yeah, it's pretty magical. I could talk about it forever because I just really believe so wholeheartedly in the medicine of song. And so many people think like, oh, well, I'm not a singer, or I don't have a good voice, but it's just like that's not what we're doing. It's not a performance.
It's powerful, I want to say. And I think in some way it can be healing too. I remember I went to a retreat in Peru, and it was a healing retreat, and we were singing, like just very empowering songs. And I remember like just being in the group, being in community was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. I feel so good. And I almost started crying too, because like there's something about it that makes you feel like I'm not alone. You know, I'm here with these amazing people, and then we're all singing for different reasons, but we're in this together. So I think it's very powerful, and so many people don't realize that.
Yeah. I definitely have like cry sang my way through songs before too. I think
It's beautiful, though.
Yeah, I don't know.
There's something special to that. Yeah.
it can be very moving, which I think that's important. It's hard to it's like, watching a sad movie and having a good cry. Like sometimes you
Yes.
need the art to help you move your emotions, and like it can stir something in you. And I feel like music especially is like a very powerful way to do that. And then when you are the person engaged in like making the magic happen, it's just, yeah, it's super powerful.
We're lucky to have you for both that and the doula work.
Yeah, thanks.
And then can you share about your art too?
Yeah, so I also make visual art, and sometimes that has looked like painting, there's just so much beauty and inspiration. It wasn't necessarily a thing that I thought that I would be pursuing. But then when I moved up here at the end of 2019, and then, we went into COVID lockdown like 10 days after my daughter was born.
Yeah.
And before moving up here, I lived in Minneapolis. I played in a bunch of different bands. Like music, to a huge extent, was my creative outlet, and I didn't fully appreciate how much I needed a creative outlet until all of a sudden we're all in quarantine, and I am not playing music with people. We're not getting together. We're not connecting. I have a little tiny baby, so I can't like play guitar very loudly into the night.
Yeah.
Like, and so I started painting. I started painting again and drawing again. And that became one of my ways to kind of stay sane. And I shared it with like a few people. And then people were very encouraging to me, and that like really meant a lot. And I started out just like being like, I made this weird art with like crushed botanicals and watercolor, and I'll like, this is what's available. I'm going to put it on Instagram, and then if anyone wants to buy it, I will donate all the money to children's medical needs in Palestine, and like did that and like
awesome.
Raised like over $500 and was like, whoa, sweet.
Yeah.
And it like felt really good to do that. And this also feels like now the way that I engage with social media is really different. I felt like a little more naive, and just was like more willing to be like, yes, this is just a platform to share my things, and isn't that great? So I just continued to make things, and then I'm sure you'll talk to Abby Tofty at some point, but so she owns a gift shop in town here, and she was like, you should make prints of your paintings and we'll sell them in the shop. And she was just so encouraging. And I tell her all the time, I'm like, Abby, I don't think I would even be an artist if it wasn't for you. Like her encouragement was just meant so much to me. So I've been doing that ever since, and have started teaching some classes here at the Art Colony.
I was going to ask about that next, yeah.
And then also at Lady Superior in the wintertime, when it's like the slow season.
Yeah.
Abby is like, here you can like have a key and just like let yourself in to teach these workshops in the evening. So the bottle shop becomes like art art class.
A workshop, yeah.
That's great.
So there's been a couple times too where I've gotten to utilize her space for that. So she's just been like a huge support in my life. And in general, it's just a really supportive community for the arts up here. So I feel like, again, it wasn't necessarily the path that I was going to go down, but there's just was opportunity here and lots of encouragement. So that's
amazing.
That's so sweet.
And it's Pajaki, right? Is that how you?
Well, it's Polish, so it's spelled with all kinds of consonants that you wouldn't expect, but it's Pajaki.
Oh, Pajaki. Okay.
Yeah. And
Pajaki, they're beautiful. These beautiful, colorful mobiles, and I don't know. They just every time I see one, I'm like, oh, I know who made that, and it's so pretty, and it makes you just happy because it's so colorful and joyful.
Thanks.
Yeah.
So in my artistic reawakening and discovering, like, oh yeah, I do need to make art to be a functioning, sane person. One of the sort of rabbit holes that I went down was learning about some of my own, like, what some of my Polish ancestry, what some of the seasonal traditions were. And I learned about these mobiles, and it just so happened that I was like learning about them the same year that this really beautiful book, Making Mobiles by Karolina Murska, came out. So I like got this book and like taught myself how to make all these like ornate tissue paper flowers, and got really into making these mobiles, and have been having a lot of fun doing these mobile making workshops like at Lady Superior, and making them with people. And that's just, I'm realizing.
And you're doing a folk school class too, right?
Yeah. So I'm going to be
exciting.
teaching my first like multi-day where we're like really going to learn a lot about the history and spend a couple days making large Pajaki.
Go sign up for the class.
I'm really excited. Well, it's full. It actually
it's
has
full.
a
Sign up for
wait
the next
list.
one.
So
That's amazing.
yeah, so that feels really good too, because it is such a weird, specific niche craft that I asked the folk school if they'd be interested, and they were like, yeah, sure, we'll see what happens. And and people have signed up for it, and I'm really excited, and so I'll probably do that again in the future. And
That's exciting.
I mean, again, it's like, because I live in a place where there is a folk school that's like specifically dedicated to these niche crafts, that I'm able to follow this thread, and I feel really grateful for that too.
And didn't you actually travel to like learn even further about making these?
I did. So after like becoming obsessed with Karolina Murska's work, and I learned of a workshop that she was teaching, and was like, wouldn't that be so cool if I could do that? Too bad it's in the UK. And it was in this tiny town called Margate, which I like to joke is like the Grand Marais of England.
Really?
Like it's like this town, this like seaside kind of like artsy town. And at first I kind of like wrote it off, just being like, well, I can't do that because that's far away. And then because of the encouragement from my amazing husband and some of my friends who were like, well, but like, what if, like, could you make it happen? I did it. I traveled, never have traveled overseas before, never like hadn't traveled by myself in years. I have like fairly smallish children, so I was like, it's not the season of my life where I'm like having these grand adventures in that particular way. So it felt like a big deal to make it happen. But then I as soon as I got there, I was like, oh, this was absolutely the right thing. And to get to meet Carolina and talk to her and learn from her and see the way that she folds the crepe paper in real life instead of like looking at pictures in a book and like driving myself crazy. It was super, super valuable. So, yeah, I'm just like so grateful for people like her who are keeping these traditions alive and are like really like bearing the culture forward, and sharing it and teaching it to people, because it is a craft that I think it's meant to be like done together. And I really feel like that is where the work that I do in the world lights me up the most, is when it is providing a container for people to gather and like have some kind of experience together. So I think about like the birth storytelling night or the song circles or like some of these art workshops, that it's people getting together and finding ways to connect in a creative way is like what is the thing that really like fuels me.
Yeah, fills your cup. We talk about that a lot.
Yeah.
We all need it. Yeah. That's amazing. I'm proud of you for going overseas too. That's
Thanks.
so fun.
I know. God. Yeah. It was scary and amazing. Just totally great. And I think it also like, really has given me the confidence to be like, oh yeah, no, I know how to make these. I know how I like, it's helped me be like, this is a thing that I feel confident sharing with people. And I would say that's the case with so much of the work that I do too, that I have been lucky enough to receive mentorship, like from artists and from community song leaders in Iowa and in Minneapolis, like shout out Liz Rogg. And just people who are doing this work that then like I can learn from. And with the birth work, like having people in town to be pursuing that with, because like I said, it's a small town. There's not enough births that are happening all the time that you could be just like a career doula and be on call all the time. So everybody who does that here is also doing other things or like has small children. So the ability to kind of like figure out how to back each other up and share being on call, like that's the only way that any of it feels possible, is because of having community around it.
I was gonna ask you, because you have 3 different things going on, and you on top of that,
it's a
you're
strange
a
Venn
mom.
diagram, isn't it? Yeah.
And we kind of want to bring it back to the book, or not necessarily, but like share with other people, what does a day in your life look like? Like, how do you accommodate all of these things in your week and still be a mom, and then find time to do things that make you happy? Maybe all of these things make you happy and make you feel like, you don't need to necessarily find the time for things that, you enjoy doing alone. How does a day in your life look like?
I usually, like lately, it's been I drop the kids off at school, then I either go back home to work in my studio, which is you've been there and have taken some pictures. It's like used to be the den in our room, and now it's just like
super cute and colorful and happy,
where we do art. So
and the cats, I love the cats.
Ooh, one too many cats at my house. Not gonna lie, but so I'll either go to the studio to work there, or go to a coffee shop and either, sometimes it's like drawing design work, like I'm working on the art for the summer solstice pageant right now.
Nice.
Or doing the computery, answering the emails, or like reaching out to people about breastfeeding, like usually do the bulk of that work, and then head to the grocery store and head home and start prepping dinner, and then get the kids from school, and then it's off to whatever extracurriculars they have or I have.
I want to touch on that.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, I feel like I have a very busy, like rich, full life, and I didn't necessarily expect that when we moved here. I didn't know anything about Grand Marais. I was like, we're moving to the woods and the trees are my friends now. It's fine. I'll just like, whenever I need to like go see music or hang out with friends, I'll just drive back down to Minneapolis, I guess. And like, little did I know that there is this like vibrant, creative community here.
It's amazing. So. I love it. And I want to circle back to 2 points. But the first one, so this is being pre-recorded.
So you can edit out all my nonsense.
No. But like right now it's May. This episode will probably come out in July. But you mentioned extracurriculars, and we just finished a very big thing for this community, which is the dance recitals. And a lot of our children were in it. My 4-year-old did it for the first time and loved it. Your kiddo, Mikey, both kids are in it. Both kids, Mikey and Oaken are both in it. Laura is the photographer for it. And
I cannot take credit for that. I only did one day, and that was enough for me.
It is. Well, I mean, like the kids. So
essential though to have the photos.
I mean, everybody preps for 6 months. There's rehearsal every night for 2 weeks leading up to it, and then it's a 3-night show. And
sells out every night.
Sells out immediately every year. The whole community goes. It is so phenomenal to watch, and it is ages 3 to 69, and not 1, not 2, not 3, but at least 4 of the She Does women danced in it, and you were one of them.
Yeah, the adults.
And it was phenomenal. You danced, Abby Tofty danced, Claire Shirley danced, Christine. Mm-hmm. Tell me what that's like.
Even more people.
There's probably, as I watched, I was like, oh my gosh, and I just kept trying to tally, but like it's incredible to watch all these women having fun, doing the damn thing. What was it like?
Well, and again, very specific opportunity in this community where it's like we have this robust dance program where that's like at once very serious but also very accessible. Like I'm not a dancer. I didn't grow up taking dance classes. So to be able to like just take a beginner hip hop class as an adult or like to like start taking tap, like, and then to be able to perform like on a stage.
It was so cool.
Like, so amazing. And just like, I mean, the intergenerational aspect of it, and that's something I really love about my life here, is that I feel like I have like more diverse friendships here than when I lived in the city and just like only hung out with like 25 to 30-year-olds who listen to punk music. It's like now I have a wider range of friendships living up here. But the dance recital, like, it's a really unique thing.
It's so special.
Like half the town is in it, and it's like super special, and it really feels like our like awakening into spring. It's like everybody like buys each other flowers every night, and it's like usually like the first sort of like inkling of like nice spring weather. And it's just fun and goofy and feels good to be like, I'm not necessarily a good dancer, but I'm going to commit to the bit, and I'm going to just like go out there and give it my all. And like watching everybody do that is really amazing. And I'm just really proud of my children and like them having an opportunity to like do something like that and overcome any kind of like stage fright. Or
they were also phenomenal.
My son really Mikey, he's in 4th grade, and he's like the oldest, and he's the oldest boy in the whole dance program, and he's the only boy in that class. And so for him to like, and he just like loves it so much and like belongs, and the teachers and all of the other kids are like, you have to keep dancing, Mikey. Like we just so like for him to be encouraged to stick with it is also like just I'm just so proud of what
Yeah.
him and like watching him out there, and you can tell like the kids that are like really love it and like love being out there, and it's like really fun to see. I think it's just such a cool opportunity. It's a cool opportunity for the kids and the adults too. That,
what
like,
did they think about watching you dance? Because that's really special too. Like,
oh man, I mean they love it and think that it's like really fun and really goofy, and it just brings everyone a lot of joy. It's to the point now where like even my introvert husband is like, maybe I will do the dance recital next year, because then it would be all four of us. The whole family could be in the dance recital. Cool. And I'm like, well, we're at the ACA practicing for 2 weeks.
You're there anyway.
So like we may as well also be in the dance recital because it's fun.
That'd be great. If
I know, wouldn't that?
So we'll I thought it'd be fun. Can we get just a skit with all the dads? Like one song with all the dads.
Yeah, maybe there needs to be like a dance specific class. I don't know like what the barrier to entry is. Like it feels like the boys get to a certain age and they're like, I'm not going to do dance anymore. But like I feel like it would be nice for some adult men to model for all of the younger boys too. Like no, you can like get out there and have fun and dance and like wear the costumes and it's great. So here's looking at you, dads of Cook County.
Thomas.
Time to get out there. Us moms are out here in the trenches, right? Like making a fool of ourselves on stage. So it's time for you to share that.
I haven't done it. I didn't think about it, and now that I have a daughter, which is funny, I don't know why, but I feel like she has brought this empowering energy into my life.
Yes,
it's crazy. But the second I got pregnant with her, I was like, I can do anything. And it's just, like it's nice to feel that way, but also it's like I see her and then I'm like, she's looking at me. So anything that I do, she's gonna be like, my mom was able to do all of this stuff. So
we'll have all our kids do it, and then all the She Does ladies should do a number. That would be fun.
So I want to do it, but
get 40 of us up there. And here we are.
Absolutely, yes. No, it was Gina's birthday on Tuesday, and I wrote her a card saying like, thank you for inviting me to do this with you. I never thought I could do something like this, but she brought up this idea and I came along, and I'm just really proud of
can do anything
that we have built, and the energy that I was feeling from my daughter. It's there. I can do anything. So
well, and it's so uplifting. Like it's just so joyful to be like, look at our community and look at what people are doing, and let's hear from such a diverse range of people who are, doing lots of different things, sometimes really hard things with tiny children.
Yeah. And that was another point I wanted to circle around to, because you mentioned with the doula work and how you kind of divide and conquer because there's only so many of you here and no birth center. And I think something that I hope comes out of She Does is showing folks that collaboration will always win over competition. And we will all get so much farther for it. And I know this community knows that and is so good at exemplifying that, and I hope that others can see it and feel inspired to do the same in where they live.
If you take away nothing else from this podcast episode, let it be that. Let it be that. Yes, collaboration. It's so essential, and I feel like the dominant message that we hear is one of like competition, and you gotta hustle and you gotta be cutthroat and that there's like so much scary precarity in the world and you can't trust anybody. And I feel like it actually like what is going to take for all of us to thrive is just that. It's like trusting one another. It's working together. It's sharing what we have and what we know. And it's like actually being there for one another in our day-to-day way and lifting each other up. And like, that's what I have seen from the small business community in Grand Marais. Like, everybody, for the most part, a lot of folks are like relying on these tourist dollars, and like people are encouraging and helping one another. Like they're not competing. Like even if they're like competition, technically speaking.
Right,
Like that's not the mindset.
One restaurant
here.
to another, or a retailer versus a retailer. Like there is no,
Right. Like
There's no
people
competing.
help each other out.
Right.
And I feel like it's so essential, and also just like a way more beautiful way to be in the world. Part of it too is just like this season of life that I'm in now, and the things that I've learned over time about like how to have community and how to be with people. And I mean, I do feel like finding ways to be together in creativity, like that has been like a value of mine, and like a tenet of like how I've moved through the world kind of forever. So like I did have that when I lived in Minneapolis, and it's I love Minneapolis and will forever. And I think the whole world like has learned a lot from just
Absolutely.
learned how
watching
awesome it is.
how amazing Minnesotans are.
Yeah, right?
So, and I like grew up in Wisconsin. So, I mean, I say this from also like an outsider's perspective.
Yeah.
Like Minnesotans, y'all are a hardy bunch. And I'm learning to be a hardy Minnesotan myself.
Same. I'm not from here either, and I don't see myself in a different state for years. Like I moved here, and I remember spending 1 week in a warmer place in the South. I'm not gonna say which one, and waiting, like counting the days to come back. And the second that we landed in Minneapolis, I was like, this is home. I never want to go anywhere warmer. even for the Spanish, speaking language, I'm like, I love Minnesota, and the way that it has showed up for people has been very heartwarming for me, and it's just very like reassuring that I am in the right place.
Yeah.
Thank you, Britt. It was fun to have you here today, and thank you everybody for joining us. This is Laura Moose
And Gina Joyce.
and Britt Malec.
Yay! See you on the next episode.
Nailed it!
Numbers.
Oh, my face hurts from smiling, you guys.